Hey, comic book fans, welcome back. And you're with me, your host, Mike Spider-Slayer. That's right, guys, we're getting ready for another comic book review. And we're talking about Marvel Now's Thunderbolts, issue number 1. Man, were we all excited for this, or what? I mean, when you saw the images of this cover, were you like, dude, it's got Hulk, it's got Punisher, it's got Deadpool, and it's got Elektra, but everybody else is really flipping cool, right? And now it's like you got done reading this issue, and you're kind of like, dude, okay. I think this issue, personally, before we get started, would have been better off if it had a bunch of question marks on the cover, or it had, you know, when General Ross by himself with question marks in the background. And then you would read the issue and you would find out who the team was going to be at the end of the issue. That would have got me more excited, I think, than reading this first issue. Because this first issue, by the time I was done reading it, I really didn't enjoy it all that much. It was average for me. But I'll talk about that as we go through the walkthrough. So first off, the cover I'm showing you is the baby variant by Scotty Young. And I wanted to get this cover so bad, but they were sold out at a comic book store. So I'm hoping that maybe next week they'll have it. But this cover is awesome. I mean, how many guns can you get firing at one time with all these bullets just pouring out? And you got Elektra sitting there going, boys are so stupid. And the Hulk has just got this dumbfounded look on him. It was so hysterical. And you got to love Venom just like hanging down from the top of the cover, shooting upside down. Classic cover. Loved it. 5 stars for the cover right there. I have some more. I have another pick here. Here's another variant cover, which I definitely did not see this. This is pretty cool. It's got Deadpool as a symbiote. It's got Elektra as a symbiote, the Hulk, and the Punisher. That is classic. I love it. It's epic, actually. I love the cover. So awesome. And then I have a couple of pages of the interior art that I want to show you. Here's one page of stuff blowing up. You got Venom shooting and grabbing some other guy, and then here you have another page with Thunderbolt Ross here and Venom, and it's shooting some guy in the face. And this art that was done, I wasn't too impressed with. Our artist is Steve Dillon. I'm not saying he's a bad artist in any way. I just don't feel like it kind of fits this book. I feel like this book, this actual book, could have been a lot more detailed, especially with the characters that are involved. You can make Hulk more muscular, more bigger, go into better detail. You can go into a lot more facial expressions with the Punisher. It seems just kind of boring, and everyone kind of has that same facial expression. And then when the Punisher looks angry, you can see here it's kind of just like a, not much there. And I don't know, when you draw Venom, Venom, you got to sit there and say Venom's got to have lots of detail with his symbiote suit. And I saw that. To me, it was just kind of missing. It wasn't horrible art. It just seems like it lacks in a lot of detail. Here's Elektra, and it's not bad, but it needs to be more detail in stuff. I don't know. It lacks it. It seems lazy to me. So the actual issue. Okay, it took me 5 minutes to read this. And actual General Ross on here sits there and he goes, "Well, you have 8 minutes to make a decision, Frank Castle, on what you want to do." And it probably took less than that 8 minutes as he was describing his story. So what this issue has to do about is the Punisher is sitting there, he's being held captive and by General Ross. And he's trying to recruit him. And as we go through his story, we kind of see everybody else's story about how Ross shows up in these places like in Somalia and Afghanistan, and he just gives a brief description about, oh, I heard, you know, what's going on. You're a legend. And he's like, oh, I need you, soldier. I need you to volunteer. And he does that the same thing with everybody else. He goes to Deadpool, and Deadpool's in France just killing some, you know, some mimes, and he's just, you know, General Ross is like, oh, I heard about you in Weapon X and Oscar Zero, and you know, and he's just randomly recruiting these people to do this job when we kind of don't know what it is yet. You just see them being all recruited, and this is why I'm going to reiterate what I said before about on this front cover. Would it not be super cool if you had General Ross, okay, just as his human form, and you had shadows in the background with question marks about who our characters were going to be on this team. So by the time you're done reading this issue, you would be like, that is awesome who is on this team. And then you'd be like, dude, I cannot wait to read issue 2. I feel like now I got all hyped up about this. By the time I was done with it, I'm like, okay, we'll see what's next. So, again, the Punisher's being held at his will here, you know, and General Ross got all these people to send this mass text or email that the Punisher was stored here and everyone wants to kill him. He keeps saying, you got 30 seconds, you got 8, you know, these people are going to kill you. And again, as the thing goes on, we see how he comes across, you know, goes to Afghanistan, recruits Elektra, and he recruits, like I said, Deadpool and Venom. And then, you know, he's obviously on the team himself. And Punisher's just, he has no choice but to go along with the whole thing, because otherwise there's going to be about 400 people that kill him, and that's it. And you know, I mean, that's really about it. You know, he holds them at will, and he just says, you know, what choice do I have? He's like, I have to go with you, and he's like, great. And General Ross turns into the Red Hulk, and then they start fighting all these guys. And that was the issue. So our writer was Daniel Way, and like I said, Steve Dillon was the artist. And I just felt that the issue just kind of lacked a little bit. It was just like I wanted to see a more in-depth origin story on how these guys came, and we might see that in issue 2. So I'm definitely going to be getting issue 2. But this book did not have a wow factor for me. It did not want me to say, oh, this is going to be an awesome series. I'm going to get this for months and months to come. Maybe we'll see more in depth of how everyone got together. I hope they just don't all come together and then they start fighting bad guys. It just, to me, then this would be a really bland story. And again, I told you my thoughts on what I thought would have been a better first issue for this particular book. But yeah, so on the average, I found the art, it was lacked detailed. It seemed a little flat in the colors. I thought the storytelling was average at best, and so I'm going to give it an average mark overall. I thought it was a 3 out of 5 for me. You guys, tell me your thoughts on this issue. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Are you going to be buying the second issue? Do you like the team? Who's your favorite character on the team? And tell me what you thought of all the covers that I showed you. So guys, again, 3 out of 5, and this is Mike Spider Slayer saying thank you for watching. And I look forward to doing more comic book reviews for you all. And until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, everyone. See you soon.